Stop scrolling, because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you look at food. What if the meals you proudly call healthy, the ones you trust, recommend, and even defend, are quietly working against your body, not because you're careless, but because you were taught to believe a story that was never designed to protect you? Ask yourself this: when did eating become so confusing, so loud, so full of promises and warnings at the same time? There was a time when food was simple and honest, grown from the earth, cooked at home, and shared without labels, guilt, or fear. But today, unhealthy food hides behind a perfect disguise, wrapped in shiny packaging, bold health claims, and scientific-sounding words that feel reassuring yet explain nothing. So how did we end up here? And who actually benefits from all this confusion? As life became faster, more stressful, and emotionally draining, food companies noticed something important. People weren't just hungry anymore. They were exhausted, overwhelmed, and searching for comfort. So instead of fixing what was inside the food, they mastered how it was sold, stamping words like low-fat, high-protein, organic, plant-based, and sugar-free on products that are still heavily processed, chemically altered, and nutritionally empty. And here's the uncomfortable question: if these foods are truly healthy, why do so many people feel more tired, more bloated, and more unwell than ever before? Unhealthy food didn't suddenly become healthy. Marketing became smarter, more emotional, more psychological, and far more dangerous. Because when people know they're eating junk, they stop. But when they believe junk is healthy, they eat it every day without guilt, slowly teaching their bodies to crave artificial flavors, excess sugar, and refined oils, while drifting further away from real nourishment. And have you ever noticed how some foods feel impossible to stop eating, even when you're full? That's not a lack of discipline. That's food science, carefully engineering the perfect balance of salt, sugar, and fat to hijack pleasure centers in the brain, turning snacks into habits and habits into lifestyles, designed not to satisfy hunger, but to keep you coming back for more. While real healthy food, simple fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and home-cooked meals sits quietly with no advertising, no slogans, and no promises. Because real food doesn't need to convince you, it simply works. Yet, in a world obsessed with speed and convenience, wisdom often loses, pushing people toward ready-made meals, energy drinks, protein bars, and so-called healthy snacks that fit busy schedules but fail tired bodies, creating a strange modern reality where people eat more than ever yet feel constantly drained, eat light foods yet gain weight, eat clean products yet feel heavy, inflamed, and disconnected. So if we're eating better than ever, why are we feeling worse than before? The body doesn't read labels, doesn't follow trends, and doesn't care about promises. It only responds to what it's given, and when most of that fuel comes from ultra-processed sources, no amount of branding can protect long-term health, especially when food is tied to emotion, comfort, nostalgia, and reward, something companies understand deeply, as they sell not just taste, but feelings like fitness, happiness, family, and success, blurring the line between need and desire until one powerful shift changes everything: awareness. Because healthy eating isn't about perfection, fear, or extreme rules. It's about balance, simplicity, and consistency. And once that realization hits, the noise fades, and a quiet truth becomes clear. Real healthy food still looks close to nature, lightly processed, and eaten with intention, not fear. And the smartest choice isn't quitting all packaged food or never enjoying treats, but stopping blind trust in labels and starting to listen to your body, reading ingredients instead of claims, choosing foods with shorter lists, and asking one final question before every bite: is this truly nourishing me, or is it just trying to convince me? Because the lesson is simple, but powerful. Unhealthy food didn't become healthy. Our understanding of health became confused. And in a world full of noise, the quiet truth always wins. And the moment you stop asking, "What does this packet promise?" and start asking, "What does my body actually need?" is the exact moment you take back control of your health